We are 8 o'clock on the dot. Sip of coffee, lovely Cornish mug. That's my partner's mug. That's actually the second one that I had. I broke the first one. Sorry, darling. I did replace it. Welcome to this morning's live. And I put a post in to say that I'm going to share with you a simple formula, something that's been with me for years. And it's always really helped when I'm thinking about the subject that we've been talking about, which is starting again or start again. Starting clearly didn't finish on one word, on one line. If you haven't been on these lives at all before, thank you if you're watching back on the replay, and I appreciate if you put comments in whilst I'm doing them. I don't tend to respond to them because figuring out everything else, I'm just learning this whole process. And one thing I found, I put notes down every so often. In conscious development, it's figuring out what it actually is. And if we break those two words down, conscious, aware of and responding to one's surroundings, having knowledge of something, okay, that's the conscious part of it. And the development, the process of developing or being developed. Once we know about something, we can either choose to ignore it, and it is a choice, or we can do something about it. And what tends to happen is that doing something about it is where our narratives start to take us down routes that are either, going to keep us stuck, or we kind of go, okay, I need to embrace these things. I need to look at this change, whatever it is. Developing a state of growth, okay, is, the most consistent thing in life is growth. Look at nature. It wants to grow. Despite what we're doing to it as human beings, it wants to naturally grow. It doesn't know any other way. And sure, we can have dormant states, we can have reflective states as human beings, but fundamentally, when we're growth focused, we look at every part of our world. And this is what conscious development is all about. So what am I going to share with you this morning? It's something and by the way, you won't get hype, you won't get bullshit from me, you won't get, I'm more interested in intrinsic motivation. I've been to huge events. I remember going to Tony Robbins, I think it was Unleash the Beast. No, not Unleash the Beast. I think that's something different. Unleash, the power within. I'm just trying to think what the seminar was called. And I was sat there and a few thousand people. I went, this isn't me. Now, Tony Robbins has done some incredible things. It was one of the first books that I ever read, Awaken the Giant Within. And that kind of started me off. I think it was in the early 90s. And that started me off on this quest of self-development, improvement, and constantly, like that Japanese principle, Kaizen, constant daily improvement. Whether we act on that or not is a different thing, but it's knowing that is our focus. So you can go to some of these events, we can be great advocates of motivating people, but it has to come from within inside, because external motivation is temporary. Okay, so if you're looking for hype, you're looking for bullshit, this isn't the place that you're going to get it. What you're going to get is grounded, fundamental principles in developing yourself through your timeline of life in a way that will align yourself through your well-being, your relationships, your financial situation, and ultimately your life fulfillment, because that's the end goal. So this formula that I kind of shared, okay, and it's not just a cross on a board. This is something that I was got shown a while ago. When we think about starting again, we think about all the things we have to do. And what is quite good is to categorize these things, okay? Most of the things in our world we can categorize, things that either take away from our life or they add to our life. They add volume, they add value. It could be a person, it could be a circumstance, it could be a personal habit of yours, it could be an environment that you're in. It either draws you towards your situation that you want to be in ultimately, or it takes you away from it, hence the minus or the plus. And what we want to focus on, and I would suggest that you do, is this area. Okay, be aware of this area, because that's people wanting something from you without that fair exchange. You actually always putting other people first as opposed to putting yourself first goes in here. The classic oxygen mask scenario, which we hear all the time, okay? We can't help other people unless we're breathing oxygen ourselves. And the remaining part of the formula, if maths is not your subject, or math, if we're stateside, then this may repel your thinking. I don't want to work on this, but think of it in simple terms. Things that add value to our world and things that multiply the value in our world. Sometimes you can have some individuals and you may not know them for very long in your world, but they come in and they increase exponentially the value in your world. It could be a lesson, it could be a learning, it could be a hand up they've given you, it could be an offering of like, come on, this will be okay, I've got you. And then division. This is the area you want to be wholly aware of and conscious of and stay away from. People that have, and it generally, this relates to human beings most of the time, not always, but generally people that want to divide your life, people that get a buzz from causing division, people, you know, on social media that use clickbait to divide people, to kind of go, hey, get away from them, come to me, I'll take care of you. You know, that division is not good for humanity. So being aware of how it affects you in your world, put the pen down and stop shaking that, is a really key thing to do. So let's take something, for instance, today. You may have woken up and you may have thought something, okay? Because if you're not controlling your thoughts, your mind is running away with your thoughts. Generally, that's what tends to happen. You pick up your phone, you get digital interruption, let's call it. Okay, the best thing to do is really not to pick up your phone first thing. Now, admittedly, I have my phone because I still haven't got an alarm clock where we've moved to. I don't know where we're moving to makes a difference. There's alarm clocks anywhere in the world. It's on flight mode, so I literally use it for the alarm. But generally, I tend to wake up before the alarm. But I don't look into that phone unless it's on my terms, because I don't want to create division. I don't want to throw myself into a world that is trying to divide me from my core values and the route that I'm going. Or equally, I don't want it to take away from time that I spend with my partner when we have a coffee, we have a conversation in the morning, we talk about some really, really key fundamental things to our world and how we like to show up. Now, if I went straight into my phone, I'm going to miss all of those things, the value that's around me in my world. And I get it. It depends on your situation. It depends on your circumstances. It depends on your environment. You know, it's taken a long time for me to get back to this place, having been through various losses and various things. Now, all of my own doing, I take wholehearted responsibility for all of those moments. So I understand your situation may be different. You may be very affluent, actually. You maybe have a very situation where on the surface it looks amazing, but underneath, you know, there's some elements that need focusing on, need working on to help you with that true soul alignment. So energetically, you're in balance and aiming forward in a way that feels true to who you are and your true self. Okay, so these areas here, if you're looking about starting again, okay, do I need that in my world? Which does it fall into? Yes, it adds value. Cool, I'll keep it. Anything, it could be stuff, it could be things around you. Look at all the things that we accumulate in the modern world. We must have this. We're encouraged to buy this. Marketing departments are incredibly clever at getting us to hand over our cash for things that really, not say they don't add value, but it's momentary kind of serotonin hits. You know, so look at these things. Think about the people in your world. Who's adding value to your world? And you will know who is wanting to divide your world. Now, if you're in a situation with your work, career, or business clients or whatever, think about the people that you're working with. You know, Stephen Covey talks about control the controllables. There's certain things that you can't do, but equally, there's certain things that you can, once you are aware of and conscious, okay, you can choose to ignore them. You can choose to do something about it. And when I talk about this formula, this can take a long time to implement through someone's life. Okay, we've got to categorize it again. Okay, is that adding value? Is that taking away? Is that multiplying the value in my world? Cool. I want to gravitate more towards this because that's ultimately where you want to be. You don't want to be over this side. And that is an instruction. Okay. That is a time served. I know how it feels to sit massively in this area because it detracts you from your true line of prosperity, which is here. I'll just let that sink in. As we come into the last minute, the alarm will go off. If you've seen this before, I have an alarm. It's set at 10 past. If you want to get in contact with me, by all means, scan the QR code. It goes through to my site. If you want me to talk with you or share with you the Conscious Development Map, which is a framework that I do all my work from when we talk about ourselves, our well-being, our relationships, financial situation, our life fulfillment. Click the wrong thing then. Let me know, okay? I'm here to support you once you become aware, okay? I can throw things at you. I can share things with you. Once you are tuned into this, okay, this is about awareness. Okay, I've been ignoring that. I've been ignoring this. Isn't it time I did something about it? Only you will know when it's the right time to do something about it. So no matter what words from me or other people pushing you or putting their agendas onto you, fundamentally here, that's the alarm. you will know when is the right time. So have a wonderful day. If you'd like to discuss this more, we can dig into it again. This is just literally just scratching the surface. Use this, write it down on a piece of paper, on a receipt from a shopping trip, you know, in your car or in the cab, write on a coffee cup, and just kind of think about this and reflect on everything in your world will fit into one of these categories. This is the side that you want to be gravitating towards. Have a wonderful day. Have a cool and conscious day. That sounds so cheesy. And catch up again next week.